Hey everyone, and welcome back to Joey's Retro Handhelds. I'm Joey, and today we're going to be doing a discussion type video on older handhelds that I think deserve a successor, a sequel, a update, whatever you want to call it, for 2025 and beyond. Now, this idea comes because there was some back and forth with myself and Gamma of Gamma OS on my Discord, where we were talking about and reminiscing about the RG405M from Anbernic. We both got our starts thanks to that device, so my channel kind of launched because of it. He started his whole Gamma OS on that 405M, but it all ties back to we both love that device, and we both have been waiting for a successor to that device. It has been 2 years, still nothing, and no, the 406H doesn't count. We'll talk about that. But either way, that's why this video is taking place. It just made me think of what other handhelds, older ones, deserve an update, or should we get an update on in the future? So let's split this up by brands, and I'm going to start with Powkiddy. Now, admittedly, I don't have a love or affinity for Powkiddy that others might have, but there is one single handheld that I liked from them in the past. It had one big issue, but it was the RK 2023 Wi-Fi edition. Now, this is their most normal type handheld that I think they've ever made, minus one big issue, which was the D-pad, and it was just awful. If that had a normal D-pad, we would probably still be talking about it to this day. But it was a budget handheld, it was comfortable, it had Wi-Fi, it was a normal type, horizontal, comfy, compact handheld with big buttons and everything. Probably the most normal that Powkiddy's ever made, but they screwed it up with a terrible D-pad. And either way, this is probably my fondest Powkiddy device that I would love to see again at some point in the future. But they've seemed to go in the other direction. They're going very weird with like TV remote devices and all these other sorts of things. But Powkiddy, RK 2023, bring it back for the RK 2025. That's all I have for Powkiddy, despite their long lineup of devices. There isn't many that I like from them or at all. I know a lot of people like the V90, and that one has a new update coming this year, so we'll skip the rest, but let's move on to TrimUI. So I've never used a TrimUI Model S, but I know a lot of people that have, and they love it. And I've always seen it from afar. I've never bought one, but I've always wanted to grab one, but I don't really have a reason to now. But I would love to see that get updated for a newer model. I haven't used it, don't know what upgrades I would look for, but a new Model S sounds pretty good. Why not? A lot of people like it. Do another one. Now for me, from the TrimUI brand, I would love to see an updated Smart. And this isn't going to make a lot of sense to people who don't own a Smart or who haven't used a Smart, but it is probably still the best mini device. It has a super small 2.4-inch screen, literally no power at all to speak of, but it has Wi-Fi, and it was just the perfect throw in your pants, throw in a bag, throw in anywhere type of device. It is so small that it fit anywhere and it didn't take up space, but it was super good to use. Of all the minis in all the land, I think the TrimUI Smart is still my favorite. But yeah, for this one, it is actually super easy to bring it up to a 2025 model. Use the GKD Pixel 2's 640 by 480 screen. It is still a 2.4-inch. Super easy, just drop it right in. Upgrade the processor to something like an RK3326 or something similar to that. Just don't use the all-winner A133P. Please do not use that. Upgrade the RAM a little bit, sneak in a bigger battery. Again, just use the Pixel 2's 1800 milliamp hour battery and touch nothing else. That is it, the perfect update for 2025, and it would sell like hotcakes because there is nothing else like it on the market. You could create a whole bunch of fun little colors and you would get your millions out of this. Now, I don't think today's Miyoo could pull it off, but we are long overdue for a Miyoo Mini or Miyoo Mini Plus update. I'm going to say Plus because that is more in line of what I want. It's more comfortable, it has Wi-Fi, all that sort of thing. But if you aren't going to do an ice blue, then scrap the entire thing. I don't even want to know about it. But if you are going to do an ice blue, then yeah, give me all the Miyoo Minis. Now, the one caveat here with the Miyoo Mini Plus is whatever processor that you upgrade it to, it has to be compatible with Onion OS, or that team has to have a working build for it. Otherwise, just scrap the whole entire idea, and I just don't care about anything you're doing. The Miyoo Mini Plus, as much as I still love it to this day, is quite dated at this point. The screen, the power, the Wi-Fi range and Wi-Fi chip, the battery, whole everything. You can point at every single thing, but it still comes together in a nice little package for a lot of people. However, a new updated Miyoo Mini Plus would be great at this point. Find or use a better screen. It could be 640 by 480 still, if you want to do that. You can get a better processor, maybe the H700 is available. If not, something similar. And again, not the A133P. Please, do not use that. Use some more RAM, some better Wi-Fi chip, and something that actually works in that regard. And that's kind of really it. As long as you keep the same buttons and D-pad, same shape, same triggers, all that sort of thing, and just upgrade the internals, you have a hit on your hands. It is so simple. There's a reason that Apple and Samsung and everybody keep releasing updates over their existing bestseller devices every year, because there's a reason they're the best sellers. When you have a Miyoo Mini, Miyoo Mini Plus, maybe release it every 2 years, 1 year. I don't care. Just keep updating it. It'll be so great. I think companies overcomplicate sequels, successors, things like that, especially in our niche. They try and do things all kind of weird and different, where they forget why we loved the original one in the first place. And we'll talk about this again in the 405 to 406H comparison, but remember why we love these devices and then just make another one with the same way. It's so easy. For Miyoo especially, this is just a slam dunk, and they could use a slam dunk right now. There isn't even a hinge on the Miyoo Mini Plus, so there's nothing to screw up there. Let's head over to Retroid, and there is one single Retroid device that I would love to have back. It's the Retroid Pocket 2S. I simply do not understand why the Retroid Pocket 2S is not for sale still. It is probably their best product, and it is also their budget product. It directly competed with and was the best option for under $100 US by a large margin. They put a T610 inside of it, while others were still trying to make RK3566s work for the same price. And not to mention there was front-firing speakers, Hall effect Retroid sticks, analog triggers, and so on. But if we're going to be updating this, then I think you still want the same price point, so all you really need to do is put in a 4-inch screen and we're there. You could try maybe putting in a T820 if you can afford it in that. We have Snapdragons going for $120 now with that Retroid Pocket Classic, so maybe that could actually be put in there. I don't know what these prices look like, but at the very least, all you need to do is put in a 4-inch screen and resell it. At this point, we are a year and a half away from the release of that device, I think. And you could only just put in a 4-inch screen, resell it, and it would still be better than the devices that we have under $100 to this day. So yeah, 2S, come back, please. I mean, you could just put the Mini's 3.92-inch 1240 by 1080 screen in there. I don't know if that's cheaper than a 4-inch, I don't know, whatever the 406H, 406V is using, that 960 by 720. If you could put that in there and IPS, it doesn't matter. Just literally give me the 2S with a 4-inch screen and we're good. And I know some of you are going to be like, well, the Retroid Pocket Mini is the sequel. And in a lot of ways, yeah, that's true, but it is also double the price of what the 2S was. 2S was a budget handheld. It was aimed at that audience. It wasn't aimed at the higher end market with OLED and Snapdragon, all that sort of thing. So no. Not the same type of device. Leaving the best for last here, and of course it is Anbernic, so we have a bunch to talk about. So let's start from oldest to newest, and we're going to start with the Anbernic RG280V. The 280V, like the TrimUI Smart, is just a perfect portable handheld. I'm so glad that I bought a few of these a year or so ago because it made me appreciate the device so much. I have zero idea why they have not remade the 280V. It would be so easy. Just keep the same size, the same externals, add the H700 processor with all of that it brings, and the RAM and the battery, all that, and then add Wi-Fi and call it a day. You already have the screen. You use the 2.8-inch 640 by 480 screen on the RG28XX. So just use that here and you're all set. I would do absolutely awful things for an updated RG280V at this point. Just make it, please. Why does Anbernic hate money? The Anbernic RG351P is up next, and this is probably the one on this entire list that blows my mind completely as to why we have not seen a successor to it. Because it is, out of every device on this list, probably the one that makes the most sense. Now, this was a 3.2 aspect ratio device, the Game Boy Advance Destroyer. But the size of it, the build quality, the feel, all of it was fantastic. It's a small candy bar device that just screams old Anbernic. And that's the Anbernic that doesn't exist anymore. This is also one that is actually so very easy to update. I don't even care. Use the H700 again. That's fine. Use the RG34XX's 3x2 screen. Perfect. And just add Wi-Fi. Those are the only 3 changes you have to make. And these are not massive changes by any stretch of the imagination. These are not big changes. These are very small changes and keep everything else the same. This one single device would sell better than probably most of Anbernic's lineup, just because of how nostalgic a lot of people are for it, how good it was, and how much a device like this doesn't exist right now. Then we get to one of my favorite design devices ever, and it's the Anbernic RG353P. The 353P is perfect in almost every single way. I don't even know what I would update or suggest here. I just want it to come back and slightly better. You can keep the exact same externals, use a 4-inch screen if you want, give it a T618 or T820, and just call it a day. I love the 353P. Just update it, I beg you. We don't get enough SNES-style handheld designs. This needs to exist. Then we get to the Anbernic RG405M, and it's my beloved. Look, instantly people are going to say that the 406H is the successor to the 405M. And yeah, sure, if you've never used the 405M, you could come to that conclusion. The 405M is sleek, it is metal, is compact, it is smaller, it is beautiful, it is better, it is everything that a retro handheld should be in one package. And it also looks like a retro handheld by Anbernic standards, the Anbernic that doesn't exist anymore. Instead, the 406H is the 405M if you took a Michelin Man style to it, or you ended up eating a whole bunch of Big Macs and you're like, here's a 406H. But we want high school weight, not middle-aged man weight. And trust me, I would know. This one is such a home run. Same design, change nothing. Update the screen to the new 4-inch 960 by 720 that they've been using in the other T820s. Use the T820, and that's really all you need to do. I mean, it's minor things at this point. I don't even care if you still use digital triggers, because part of the charm of this device was how easily it was for pocketability. So yeah, continue doing that. I don't care. Take the exact same design and just update the internals. It is the one constant for today. And everything that I'm talking about is you have the design, you have these awesome handhelds, just update them for this year. Last for today, and it is the Anbernic RG Arc. I'm not going to say that I love the Arc because I don't. I'm almost certain it didn't sell well, but you can make probably one of the best handhelds in our niche out of the Arc. So all you have to do, add a stick, add something better or equal to the T820 so we can play Saturn properly, add the 4-inch 960 by 720 screen that they've been using in the T820 lineup, some other minor changes for battery and all that sort of thing, and we would have the best Saturn and Nintendo 64 device on the market. Actually, it would be the only device on the market. It's so easy. Anbernic, are you listening? Do I have to go and get ZPG to make this so that you could come out of the woodwork and be like, yeah, we're making one too? Don't make me do it. Just, again, 6-button device, D-pad, stick, RG Arc design. It makes so much sense. That's all I have for you today. I thought it would just be a fun video just to kind of riff and raff on older handhelds that should be updated for this year. And probably missed a bunch. There's probably a bunch that you were like, Joey, you missed these, but these are ones that I kind of sort of care about. I'm going to miss a bunch of ones that you do. So yeah, that's my list. Let me know in the comments below. What did I miss? Or maybe you have some updates to things that I talked about and you want to see some changes there. But thought it would be a fun little video, and so see it that way. Don't take it too seriously. Don't forget to like and sub to help the channel grow. Come join me on the Discord to talk all about retro handhelds. Support me on Patreon if you like my stuff. And hope you all have a good one.